everyone, how's it going? And welcome to another week of TCG News. As always, if you guys are looking for forcible singles or a sealed product, be sure to click the link in the description below to go to Happy Little Hug Factory, where they have pre-orders for the new set, Alice Origins, both the booster boxes and both of the starter decks, which you might want to look into after we go through some of the things in this news. So make sure you go and pre-order that to make sure you guarantee your product, and use that link in the description below when you make a purchase so they know we sent you over. And by Play DKP Accessories with our magnetic playmats, so you can play games on the go, outside, in your car, anything like that. Just go to the website and use code TCG for 5% off your order. So we got a bunch of news to go over, and if you guys are here for Argent Saga news, just check the link in the description below to see the timestamp of when that'll start as well. So the first bit of news is revolving around the star decks kind of, as well as future content for Force of Will, which is they have announced a partnership with Ghost in the Shell. So there's going to be a mini set coming out next year based on the new anime, Netflix version of Ghost in the Shell. And it's going to be Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045, which is a sequel series to the Standalone Complex TV show from the early 2000s, which I'm personally super excited about. This sort of came out of left field, the announcement, and it was posted on the official Facebook, and it's on their website. And if you go there, you can see the promo card, which you can see here, which comes with every purchase of the new starter decks, which is why you want to go pre-order those on Happy Little Hug Factory, so you can make sure to get these promos of Major. Now, we don't know any more specifics about the set, what the size of it or anything like that, just that it'll be released the same time as the Netflix show, which the Netflix show, all we know is it releases the second quarter of 2020, so sometime around there is when we can look forward to it. This will be, it sounds like, a mini booster set rather than a Vingolf, so that's kind of interesting. Hopefully the cards themselves will have backgrounds, unlike this promo card, and just the promo cards look different and don't have backgrounds. But it looks super awesome. I'm a huge fan of Ghost in the Shell in all its different forms, so I'm really excited to see where this will take us. Next up is we have gotten our look at the memorial cards, as well as a bunch of other new cards and card types from the set that I'll go over here. You can see the look of the memorial card here, which looks really nice. I personally love the border design and text box design a lot more than the stranger cards. For people who aren't aware, memorial cards, you'll get one per pack, and they are not legal in New Frontiers unless they are of a card that exists in New Frontiers already. So they're all reprints of promos, so there's a chance that some of them will be legal in New Frontiers technically, but if they aren't printed in a card that's in New Frontiers, then it won't be. But they are, however, all legal inside of limited formats. So when you go to your pre-release, you can play any memorial card that you pull, that you can play. There is some cool stuff also in them, such as the dual stones that were from Europe being reprinted in these memorial cards, which is a kind of cool touch. Some other notes from this image here that was shown is that there are some type of tokens that will be in the set, some type of life point cards that say 500 life points on each one. Not sure what the relevance of that is, but I'm sure we'll find out. As well as energized cards, which you could see sort of just reuse the art, but it's kind of a cool idea. My only concern is whether these take up spaces inside of the booster pack or replace potentially certain slots in it. Since it's already going to be kind of hard to pull rares and super rares, I'll be curious how these are going to be distributed in packs, so I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. There should be pack openings, I think, pretty soon that we'll be able to see. And through these spoilers, we've also, I had counted some cards, or shown some cards last week that I thought were notable reprints, and so this week the notable ones were Lancelot and Guinevere, which is pretty interesting that they decided to go that route of reprinting those. We talk extensively about that on our most recent spoiler video, which you can go check out. There's also a new special magic stone coming out, and this special magic stone, you can tap it and produces any color that your J ruler is. So that's pretty insane, I think, because the new rulers are dual color. And so you can basically run 8 dual stones inside your deck with literally 0 consequence. If you guys have been following me since the beginning of this channel, I've always been against dual stones in general without consequences. I was more of a fan of the Lapis Cluster ones and Vingolf 3 ones, even though I felt like those didn't even have severe enough drawbacks, but at least it was something. But this has 0. You're going to be able to run for the first time ever 8 dual stones with 0 drawbacks, which I really, really don't like. But you guys can let me know what you think of that. But I personally, not being a fan of dual stones, this obviously makes me even less a fan of this. We also got a new Chibi Judge card, so this is super exciting. We haven't seen one of these in a while, so it's cool that we're finally getting one again. There was some talk, I'm not sure if this was where this came from, but I had heard that it also might be available to like top 8 or something like that, some type of pricing as well outside of the judging, but I don't know if that's confirmed or even a thing, but I thought I'd mention just in case. But this is the judge promo you get for judging events, though that will be interesting to see how that plays out in the US, since we technically still don't have a judge program officially. That dissolved quite a while ago, but that's really cool. That I'm really glad they're going back to doing the Chibi stuff as well. And the same thing that this was posted, it was also revealed that the Italian Masters, the promo card for entering, is going to be one of 5 basic magic stones from the Vingolf 3 set. I assume these are going to be in foil, but that should be kind of interesting for those going there. I personally would not be happy with it, but you know, if people like that, then have fun with that. We also found out that starter decks are going to have foiling in them, or at least partially. So this is going back to kind of what the starter decks used to be back in Lapis Cluster, kind of. So every card in here you'll have a play set of, and one card out of each of those play sets is going to be a full art foil, not texture, but foil, which is really cool. I really like that they're doing that. It adds something for people like me who like to bling stuff out, something to chase while also keeping the value of those cards intact, so not everyone's just randomly running them. It incentivizes people to buy more structure decks as well. And I like that it's full art too, and the regular ones aren't full art, so it adds some uniformity to it as well. So I'm really excited that they're doing that. That's something I've said each time that they should have kept doing after the Lapis starter decks. Now, we just need to hope that they keep printing these starter decks going forward like they did not do last cluster, because if they're doing these huge incentives for, like, say, one person to buy 4 of them, then if there's short supply of them, that could turn out to backfire in a huge way in as little as a couple months. So let's hope that they keep reprinting the starter decks throughout the cluster. A quick note also is there was an official errata posted. This was kind of random, but I just randomly saw it on the website while actually doing the news. But they posted that the Light Giant, I don't know her name, basically just a clarification that, because right now she says target J/Resonator or Edition gets destroyed, and the errata says target J/Resonator or Target Edition gets destroyed, adding the targeting effect just in case there is some type of barrier or something on the edition. So just good for people to know. Judging by the randomness of this errata coming out, as well as how well this article was written on Force Will, I think it's safe to say it wasn't written by Force Will specifically, but someone else, probably similar to how the CR was done by someone else. There's probably a distributor or someone along those lines helping maintain some of these things for Force of Will. Moving on to other games, first up I want to mention Gem Blenders. If you guys had seen it, we did a couple videos for them on our channel here. It was 2 different gameplay videos, which were a lot of fun to make. But they officially have launched their Kickstarter. I'd highly recommend going and checking it out. You can see our videos actually on their Kickstarter page. And it's a lot of fun. It's a fun game, very easy to learn and play. And they actually already met their goal within a couple days, I think it was. And so they still have like 3 weeks left on the Kickstarter. So be sure to check that out. I'm sure they'll be announcing stretch goals pretty soon, I hope. But it's really good pricing for getting just an entire structure of cards that you can make different decks and different things with. So they're really cool over there. So I'd highly recommend going and checking it out. Also, if you missed it, I did a Godzilla video. This was really cool. It's something I worked a while on, and it goes over each of the cards inside of the Chrono Clash box for Godzilla that are related to the Showa era, and I explain the background and lore for each card. It was a lot of fun to make. It shows the background video from each of the relevant movies, as well as the relevant flavor that affects the card and how it works. So if you're interested at all in that, please check it out and share it around with anyone you know. I'm going to start working on the next video for it pretty soon, so that should hopefully come out much quicker than this last one came out. And if you guys like that, I would love to do more lore type videos in the future. Both of them Godzilla, maybe Naruto, Ghost in the Shell, Evangelion, different things like that. So let me know if that's something you want to see. And also, Transformers, the trading card game, that's something we haven't covered here in a while, but I wanted to cover this because it was pretty cool, which was they announced a Transformers Energon edition. So to celebrate 1 year of the game, they're coming out with this kind of booster box. Basically, it comes with all of the most popular cards, including some exclusive cards that were at cons and stuff. And it comes in this really cool case, as you can see there, that even has like a little drawer and stuff that pulls out, and it displays the cards on top there, which are Transformers that are, I don't know if they're acrylic or plastic or something like that, but they are that sort of plastic acrylic material with clear parts on it, and they look super awesome, and it comes with this nice display. It currently retails for $200, which might seem kind of high, but in my opinion, that's the perfect price and actually not too bad, especially considering if you play Force of Will, how much that push-up box was when that was out. So I feel like you get a lot more with this. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that real quick. Moving on to Arjun Saga news, there's not too much to cover here, but first was there was a championship this past weekend, so it was pretty interesting. 124 people ended up attending, with Alex Blandon going away with the victory. If you guys want to check it out, over on our website, tcgscrubs.com, obviously we have the article version of this news, but we also have the top 8 from that event, the top 8 lists, as well as any other relevant info. There hasn't been as much information coming out of the championships as of late. I'm not quite sure why, but hopefully it's just a temporary thing while maybe they're organizing some stuff in the background. There are some, I gotta fix some stuff on that top 8. I think I had gotten some stuff wrong, so hopefully it's fixed by the time this video comes out. And for the top 4, I'll be putting the text version of their list on there soon, so keep an eye out for that as well. They also announced a buy a box promo for the next set, so this is what's going to be coming whenever you buy a box, obviously, and it's Dragonholt, which I thought was super cool. I run a Dragonholt deck, so I thought this was cool to have there. The art obviously is super awesome, so it's just a cool buy a box promo. The only downside is it doesn't really incentivize me to buy more than one box, since I only need one champion. I don't need 3 of it, so it's a very interesting decision in the sense of it doesn't really incentivize people to buy more than one box if that's one of your driving factors. But, you know, as far as not having a playset of stuff or a card that you can't get a playset of, Dragonholt's a nice one to have multiple of, in my opinion. Also, in a post on Facebook, it was revealed that Set 3 of Argent Saga, which I believe comes out in February or March, somewhere around there, that they're currently working on making that set draftable. So this is something people have been asking about for a while, so that's something that they are actively working on. So we don't know exactly, obviously, what this entails. No details were released, but I'm curious how they overcome some of the problems, such as the champion spirit and how colors work. If they'll go the route of Force of Will, where they include sort of draft champions and spirits inside of booster boxes and pre-release kits, stuff like that, would be an interesting direction to go. But we'll be covering this as it goes forward, so I'll be curious to see how they solve some of these problems. And lastly, another playmat was added to their store. If you don't know, if you go to argentsaga.com, they actually have a storefront where you can buy cool, exclusive playmats, art pieces, different things like that that are officially licensed, obviously, through Argent Saga. So we have our first Mutation 002 playmat. So if you guys are really confident in this card and how good it's going to be, you can preemptively just buy the playmat and go and start playing your games with your deck that'll have the mutation in it. And people will know what's going on right when you unfold your playmats, which is good to know. But yeah, so that's all the Argent Saga and TCG news for this week. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to pin it or mention it in a comment. Thanks you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.